quiz. Now, this is one of my favorite parts, answering questions from viewers or from patients. So first of all, I wanted to thank you for watching the videos, and I'm glad you're getting the value that you need for your skin. Question number 1. Hey doc, I'm using the Gentle products on my face, a gentle cleanser, an apricot seed scrub, and moisturize with lotion that's made with hyaluronic acid, but my skin is prone to outbreaks and is often stinging and burning, especially after I cleanse. What should I do? So I'm very glad you asked that question. Skincare culture is extremely misleading. And by misleading, I mean what they promote as healthy and helpful to the skin is usually the opposite. And scrubbing and cleansing are no exception. So what cleansing does is stripping away elements of the skin barrier by chemical means. It solubilizes the lipid layer overlying the skin, making up parts of the skin barrier, and also getting rid of some of the larger elements such as skin cells and other ingredients of the skin barrier. What scrubbing does is stripping away and abrading the skin on a physical level, creating micro tears in the skin barrier and physical damage to the skin. So both these practices by default and immediately create damage to the skin barrier. As soon as you use them, the skin is already damaged and sensitized. So my recommendation, first of all, would be to avoid scrubbing, exfoliation, and other physically abrasive practices altogether. There's no such thing as a gentle or helpful scrub. This is a completely nonsensical set of practices and techniques. And by that I mean the scrubs, the loofahs, the washcloths, the exfoliating gloves, the brushes, and even this motion with the hand that people do on their face or on their arms, thinking they're getting some sort of a benefit stripping off dead skin cells. That is a completely nonsensical and disastrous practice for the skin. It has no place in your skincare routine whatsoever. As far as using chemical cleansers or abrasives, such as detergents, what I would say is that you need to use them on a very limited basis because their utility or their helpfulness or their benefit is very limited. The benefit of using detergents on the skin in the shower or in front of the mirror is getting rid of body odor, which is under the skin folds, meaning the armpits, groin, and butt crack. That is not the face. And the face does not categorically need any form of cleansing, except for in these cases where you need to remove makeup, which is not really cleansing, but just removing the makeup. Now, the lotion that you're using is also not ideal because it is likely water-based. And water-based products by default contain preservatives and contain emulsifiers, among other ingredients that are inactive ingredients that can irritate the skin and cause other issues such as increased transepidermal water loss. So your best bet is to use cool water on the face, not use any other cleansing mechanism on the face, and moisturize the face if the face is still dry with an oil-based moisturizer such as Butter Oasis Moisturizing Balm, which is made with 3 organic edible ingredients: shea butter, cocoa butter, and argan oil for maximal protection, emollients, and occlusion of the skin. So if you have sensitive skin, your best play is to avoid scrubbing or cleansing altogether. Just use cool water to wash the face. Avoid the lotions, the creams, the serums, and other water-based leave-on products as they contribute nothing to your skin health and in fact can be very irritating to certain skin types and certain skin conditions. And moisturize the sensitized dry areas with Butter Oasis Moisturizing Balm. Give this new approach 2 or 3 weeks to work so the skin can actually recover and restore itself to normal working order. That by avoiding the scrubbing, the exfoliation, and the cleansing that is literally destroying the skin barrier, and protecting it with the oil-based moisturizer rather than the very shabby water-based moisturizer that does really nothing besides theater. If your sensitivity persists, see a board-certified dermatologist to address your condition, as you may have a bona fide inflammatory condition that needs to be treated actively with medication. Second question. Doc, I remove makeup with micellar water on a cotton ball, but my face keeps stinging every time I use micellar water. Micellar water is a gentle makeup remover, so what's the problem? Well, the problem is that micellar water is a very misleading category of products. Micellar water, and I hear this quite a bit in my clinic, is considered by many to be a gentle product, meaning a product that is harmless. That is the assumption behind gentle products. But the thing about gentle products is that they're not harmless at all. In fact, they are very similar to categories of products that are very much considered harmful, like all sorts of detergents And those are usually weak detergents or simply just called gentle by fiat, meaning arbitrarily designated as gentle to reassure the consumer to buy the product and use it anyways on sensitive skin. And that's what you're essentially describing. Micellar water are essentially a detergent solution, meaning they're a soap-based solution. And when you lay them on the skin in the hope of getting some sort of a gentle, non-abrasive effect, you're actually getting the opposite. And I know many people to actually leave micellar water on the face without washing it off after having used it to remove their makeup. And that creates a double whammy effect where you remove the skin barrier and then replace the skin barrier with a detergent, which is doubly abrasive to the skin. So the skin's already been stripped off from some of the upper layers or some elements of the upper layers, and then those are replaced by soap that you leave on the skin, which is the micellar water. Not a good technique. My advice to you is to use coconut oil or petroleum jelly on a cotton ball or on a dry makeup removing pad, the round ones, and gently wipe the makeup off until you draw a blank cotton ball or makeup wipe, and then leave the residue of the coconut oil or the petroleum jelly on the face as an occlusive and a conditioner to protect the skin. So that you're getting two birds with one stone, as opposed to the double whammy that micellar water gets you. Third question, Doc, I have sensitive skin, so I exfoliate only once a week, but I feel that's not enough. How can I exfoliate more and avoid irritating my skin? I'm concerned about all the dead skin cells. Well, that is an interesting question, because one of the craziest things about the skincare industry is that they are able to turn things that are clearly harmful to the skin into things that are considered beneficial and helpful to the skin. And physical abrasion, which exfoliation is part of, is one of those practices that is just bonkers that anybody uses with the expectation of a health benefit, but millions of people do. What exfoliation does is it removes forcibly skin cells from the surface as well as other elements, but the intent is to remove skin cells and larger particles of the skin barrier from the surface of the skin before they're good and ready to be shed off. The assumption behind using exfoliation or scrubbing or any other physical abrasion technique on the skin is that the skin doesn't know what the hell it's doing. It's supposed to be helped along like a child by the skincare industry products and by the person who owns the skin. But that is a ridiculous assumption. The skin certainly knows what it's doing, and it sheds skin cells when they're good and ready to be shed, and it does it 24/7 and for free. So it does not need any coaxing or any encouragement from you in any way, shape, or form. So exfoliation is completely unnecessary, much more so when you have sensitive skin, which means your skin barrier is undermined and not working properly, which means that the exfoliation only contributes to the already dire state of the skin barrier. So my advice to you is, first of all, relax. Don't worry. Those skin cells are being shed off. You're not keeping the skin cells that are ready to come off the skin. All you need to do is relax, leave the skin alone. You can rinse the face with cool water if you want. I wouldn't make a big ritual out of it. It can be done once a day. And don't put any effort into it. The skin will take care of everything for you, and you'll keep the skin barrier, and it'll continue to sustain itself. It'll shed the cells or elements that it doesn't need on its own, and it'll keep what it needs on its own without any help from you or any products from the skincare industry that are designed to somehow fix the skin barrier, but truly undermine the skin barrier, actually disrupting its function. So I hope that helps. I hope you stop exfoliating ASAP. Your skin will thank you. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments section what other questions do you have and how the answers to those questions helped you revamp your skincare routine and supercharge your skin. Also, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more no BS skincare advice. See you next time. God bless.